Well, it's been about 3 months since I started my Tarkov bender, and this is the first time that I've touched grass in a while. So I figured I'd use this time to reflect on the things that I've actually learned during that time that made me a better player, because I'm actually getting kills in the game now, and the game's kind of fun. Here are the 5 things that I've learned during my bender that made me a dramatically better player. Now, I'm not saying I'm a prodigy, but I definitely like 3x my KD during this time. So let's go through it. First thing I learned, get yourself a set of IEMs. These are like ESP for your ears. And you better not have real ESP, because if you do, go choke on a corn dog in Minecraft. But these are huge. They'll allow you to hear pretty much anything that's going on around you, and all those little intricate tiny details that you usually can't hear on a normal headset, you will be able to hear with these. Any tiny little footstep sound, skid, scav noise, gunshots, it really gets you tuned into the game and the environment, and they allow you to hear the smallest little noises. Now, out the gate, when you plug these into your computer, these are loud. Gunshots are gonna sound like actual gunshots, and they're gonna blow your eardrums out. So I recommend using these in conjunction with a program called Sound Lock. It basically limits the really loud volume coming from your computer and compresses it. So it basically amplifies a lot of the smaller sounds and then takes the really loud sounds like gunshots and makes them quieter. Get Sound Lock, get a set of IEMs. I'll put a link to these down in the video description, but any of them on Amazon, they're like 20, 30 bucks, should be just fine. Number 2, before you even get into raid, bind your lean left and lean right to your mouse buttons. This is huge because it allows you to lean around a corner and then use WASD to move. So essentially all you're seeing is a character leaning its head around the corner, or like some type of cover, and all you see is a head and maybe slightly of the top of the shoulders peeking in and out really quickly. So if you can lean and move at the same time, it really allows you to peek corners quickly and get those nice pop shots that you see all the streamers getting. And when they just do a quick peek and they get kills on players, it's super powerful. So lean on your mouse buttons, and that also opens up Q and E for things like scope magnification and toggling on your tactical device, which are really accessible keybinds. Tip number 3 is run good ammo. It is so important. If you don't want your opponent to just soak up your damage with their armor and turn around and kill you, even though you got the jump on them, you gotta run good ammo. If you have the flintlock, you can buy, M856A1 for 5.56 rounds. You can buy BT ammo for the 5.45x39, which is relatively cheap. Just make sure the ammo that you're using has at least like 35 pen, because it's super important to have good ammo to get kills. Once you get higher traders, you can start stocking up on things like CBJ, M80, and all those really good rounds that do a ton of damage to PMCs, and they're awesome. Tip number 4 is to always be using painkillers, and when you're on a map, run cover to cover. Those 2 things right there will dramatically change your gameplay. Painkillers are super important, because if you're running in an area and you start getting lit up by a player that you don't see, you have to be on painkillers, because if they hit you in the leg, all of a sudden you start limping and you're just dead. You can't get to cover. Also, you always want to be running cover to cover, because it's super important that you have a direction that you're already going. So if someone does start lighting you up, you're already on your way to cover. You can get there, you can take cover, you can figure out where the shots are coming from, use meds, and your character can actually get there and then take the fight into your own terms. Stick hard to cover, guys. It's really hard to kill players that are stuck behind large pieces of cover, and you usually have the advantage if you just stick to the cover. Don't ever swing wide on players trying to see them behind cover, because that's how you die. And the last tip, easier said than done, but just use the gear that's in your stash, guys. Like, you have to use the good armor, you have to use the ammo, you have to use the guns, because at the end of the day, it's all gonna get wiped anyway, right? So get experience using your gear. If you run out, just do scavs. I mean, you can make like 600K on a scav and go buy a whole new kit. Like, it's really not that difficult. So use good armor, use good guns, and if you die, be like, cool, that was part of the learning process. I learned something, I'm gonna move on. There's no point in hoarding all of your gear. You're just gonna be timid and you're gonna be afraid to use it. So just use it and have a good time. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to check out my channel. I got some Tarkov gameplay on there. See you in the next video.